Welcome to my tiny kitchen in Hong Kong, where I'll be making some of my favorite easy dishes in a kitchen with less square footage than most people's bathtubs. Today I'll be making the Sloppy Sanchez. Alright, welcome to my tiny kitchen. Today we're going to make the Sloppy Sanchez, which is a Tex-Mex variation of the Sloppy Joe. So what we need to do is add some oil to a pot that we got over at medium-high heat. Toss in some beef. I'm using just some sliced up beef I got from the market. Usually I use a whole steak. We'll add some salt to that. Then we'll add a little bit of pepper. Grind in some pepper. Grind in a lot of pepper. Then start to give it a sear. Brown it up a bit. Give it a stir. That way you get it all brown on more than just one side. And next we're going to add some cumin. And thank you to Jennifer for bringing this back to me from Miami. I appreciate that. Then let's add in some chili powder. And the humidity kind of made it stick together inside of the bottle. It's pretty wet here. And a little bit of cinnamon. Actually, it's pretty good whenever you add it to some Mexican-ish dishes. Give it a stir, give it a stir. It would be better if you were able to toast the cumin and the cinnamon, bring out the oils in it. Next, in a very unsafe manner, add 3 cloves of garlic, as I did. Make sure to scrape your hand with the knife so all of it gets off of your hand. Next, I added in I wedged up half of a medium-sized onion. And I wedged up a whole small green bell pepper. Give that a stir. Now what we're going to do is cook this for quite a long time. I think I cooked this for a little over an hour. Basically everything's going to cook down. Next I added 3 small tomatoes that I peeled and squeezed all of the seeds out of. The seeds make everything bitter. So what you're going to do is take your spatula and kind of break up those tomatoes a little bit. These tomatoes weren't very ripe, so whenever I tried to smash them up with my smasher, it didn't work very well. But I go ahead and give it a stir and a mix, try to break in those tomatoes as much as you can. And that's what it looks like right now. Now what we're going to do is add in some chicken broth. Why aren't you using beef broth, man? Dude, chill out. All I had was chicken broth. You know, it doesn't matter. Everything's going to cook down anyway. You're going to taste the tomatoes, the onions, the peppers, the beef. And next, since I didn't have any serrano or jalapeno peppers, I used a little bit of Sichuan chili oil. Didn't use a whole lot because I didn't want to get the flavor from that. All I wanted was some heat. Go ahead and give it a stir, work in everything. Then put the lid on and drop down your temperature to low. Let it cook for about 20 minutes. Come back, take the lid off. Ooh, see, the tomatoes are starting to break down. The peppers and the onions and the beef are starting to release some more liquid. Now what we need to do is cook it in the liquid for a little bit longer and try to break everything down. We want it to be sloppy, kind of like a sloppy Joe. Yeah, we definitely need to reduce the liquid in that some more. Now after about 20 minutes, check it again. And this time we're going to take a spoon and we're going to check our seasonings. I added a little bit more cumin. As you can see, the humidity has made my cumin clump up as well. And it was a little sweet because of the peppers and the onions, so I added in a little vinegar, and the acidity from the vinegar would kind of balance out the sweetness from the onions and the pepper. Alright, it's about perfect to me. Could have used a little more heat though. Like I said, couldn't find any chili peppers, and I didn't want to spend all day going to different markets. After about 20 or 25 minutes, let's check it again. As you can see, lots of that liquid has started to evaporate out of the pot. It's starting to look a little bit more sloppy for our sloppy Sanchez. After about 20-25 more minutes, let's check it again. Give it a stir. As you can see, almost all of the liquid has boiled out, and it looks almost ready. Just sloppy enough. Now what we're going to do is put it over on the other burner and crank up the heat underneath of this frying pan. Now I bought a baguette from the bakery. Not my bread of choice for this sandwich, but it was late and I didn't want to go searching all over. So I dug out the inside of the bread, that way we could stuff it with more of our sloppy Sanchez mixture. And I'm just heating up the bread. Do it on both sides. I don't like single-sided heated up bread. Then I sliced up some pepper jack, and I'm going to put that into the top and the bottoms of the bread. Pepper jack is very expensive in Hong Kong. It's like $8 for a brick of pepper jack that would usually cost $2 in the US. Now next, after that's done, we're going to put some thinly sliced white onions on the top and the bottom of our bread. And we're going to do that very slowly. I guess I was savoring the moment. And next we're going to add some cilantro to the tops and the bottom, right on top of the onions. This is a pretty rich sandwich. The sloppy Sanchez mixture was pretty rich, so the freshness and the coolness of the cilantro really helped balance that out. Now we're going to add the sloppy Sanchez mixture to the top and the bottom. Look how sloppy that is. I'm not a big fan of sloppy joes. Actually, I hate sloppy joes. But this is a pretty good sandwich. It doesn't look that appetizing, but it tastes really good. And also, I like to use either a whole steak or, just sliced up pieces of meat for this. I'm not a big fan of ground beef sandwiches. Usually I use a whole steak, and then I just shred up the steak after it's cooked for an hour or so. Alright, and there we have it. Now let's give it a try. Yep, it's pretty good.